Have you ever been so afraid of failing at something that you didn't even try? Maybe it was applying for that dream job, learning a new instrument, or even just speaking up in a meeting. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. This fear of failure is something we all grapple with, but what if I told you there's a way to completely reframe it? What if failure wasn't the end, but the beginning? That's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to explore a powerful concept that can fundamentally change your relationship with challenges and setbacks, the growth mindset. The idea comes from the brilliant work of Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck. Through her research, she identified the core mindsets that shape how we approach life, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Someone with a fixed mindset believes their abilities, intelligence, and talents are static, unchangeable traits. They think you're either born good at something, or you're not. So, when they face a challenge, their main goal is to prove they're smart or talented. Failure, in this view, is devastating. It's seen as a direct reflection of their inherent limitations. It feels like a final judgment, a label that says you're not good enough. This is where that fear of even trying comes from. If you believe failure defines you, why risk it? Now, let's look at the other side of the coin, the growth mindset. Someone with a growth mindset believes their abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, effort, and learning. They understand that the brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. For them, challenges aren't threats, they're opportunities. Failure isn't a verdict, it's feedback. It's valuable data that tells them what to work on next. It's not about I can't do it, but I can't do it yet double quotes. Think about it. When a baby is learning to walk, do they fall once and decide, well, I guess walking isn't for me? Of course not. They fall, they wobble, they get back up, and they try again. They instinctively operate with a growth mindset. They see falling not as a failure, but simply as part of the process of learning to walk. As we get older, we somehow unlearn this and start attaching shame and fear to the act of falling. Let's make this real. Imagine two students who both get a C on a difficult math test. The student with a fixed mindset might think, see, I'm just bad at math. I'll never get it. They might avoid harder math classes in the future and give up on the subject altogether. Their belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The student with a growth mindset, however, would have a completely different reaction. They might think, okay, AC, this test was tough. What did I miss? I need to review my notes on these specific chapters and maybe ask the teacher for help. They see the grade not as a label, but as a signpost pointing them toward what they need to learn. Which student do you think is more likely to succeed in the long run? This isn't just about school, it applies to every single area of our lives. In your career, a growth mindset allows you to take on challenging projects, learn new skills, and bounce back from setbacks. When a project doesn't go as planned, instead of blaming others or feeling defeated, you ask, what can we learn from this? How can we do better next time? This is the attitude that leads to innovation and leadership. It's true in our personal relationships, too. A fixed mindset might make you think that a good relationship should be effortless. So, when conflict arises, you might see it as a sign that the relationship is fundamentally flawed. A growth mindset, on the other hand, understands that relationships require work, communication, and learning. You see disagreements as opportunities to understand your partner better and to grow together. So, the big question is, how do we cultivate a growth mindset? It's not a switch you can just flip overnight, but it is a skill you can develop with practice. First, just become aware of your own thoughts. Listen for that fixed mindset voice in your head. It's the one that says, I can't do this. I'm not smart enough. Or what if I fail and everyone laughs? When you hear it, don't judge it, just acknowledge it. Ah, there's my fixed mindset talking. Second, consciously reframe that voice. Challenge it with a growth mindset response. When you think, This is too hard. Try shifting to, this will take some time and effort. When the fear of what if I fail creeps in, counter it with, failure is a chance to learn. What's the first step I can take? The simple addition of the word yet can be incredibly powerful. I don't understand this becomes I don't understand this asterisk yet asterisk. This little word opens up a world of possibility. Third, focus on the process, not just the outcome. We live in a world that's obsessed with results, but true growth happens in the day-to-day effort. Celebrate your dedication, your persistence, and the new strategies you try, regardless of the final result. Did you put in the time to study, even if the test score wasn't perfect? Did you bravely give that presentation, even if your voice shook a little? That's a win. You're building the muscle of effort. Think of some of the most successful people in history. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. They didn't see these rejections as proof of their inadequacy. They saw them as fuel. They embraced the feedback, worked harder, and persisted. Their stories are not stories of effortless talent. They are powerful testaments to the growth mindset. Embracing failure doesn't mean aiming to fail. It means removing the fear of failure so you can aim higher. It means giving yourself permission to be a beginner, to be imperfect, and to be on a journey of learning. It's about choosing courage over comfort. So, I want to leave you with a challenge. This week, I want you to intentionally do something you're afraid of failing at. It doesn't have to be massive. Maybe it's trying a new recipe, attempting a difficult yoga pose, or starting a conversation with someone new. Pay attention to that inner voice. When you stumble, practice reframing it. See it as data. See it as a step on the path, not a wall blocking your way. Remember, your potential in a fixed quantity, it's an ever-expanding horizon. By adopting a growth mindset, you're not just learning to cope with failure. You're learning how to use it as the ultimate tool for success. You are giving yourself the gift of limitless growth. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content on personal growth and mindset. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what's one area where you're going to apply a growth mindset this week. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing.